right-wing groups on college campuses over the last few years to basically intimidate academics from speaking and to intimidate students from organizing and to intimidate the administration. And so we have to actively resist and challenge that that the Proud Boys founder has a First Amendment right to be here. Because that's not what the First Amendment is for, and I say that as a communications scholar. This is also part of a wider trend that I think we should actually look at and read about. There's a fantastic book called Free Speech and Coke Money that just came out maybe a couple weeks or months ago on this right-wing connected there is actually a funded right-wing network that includes groups we have on campus, including groups that how they try to operate is basically ride on the credibility of universities. So the Federalist Society, now Uncensored America, Turning Point is here. The Federalist Society, too, is here at Penn State, and they operate out of the law school, and we can actually not thank them for the conservative judges that we now have at the highest level and the lowest courts, and for attacking reproductive rights, for overturning Roe v. Wade. The Federalist Society helped place those judges. And they're here on campus, and what they do is they ride on the credibility of universities as a place of truth-seeking and free thought sharing. But we should not let what we do be used and appropriated by the forces of hate and violence, because that's what the Proud Boys and Gavin McInnes is all about, is hate and violence. Neither of which, again, are supported by the First Amendment. And it is so infuriating to see, again, at an event we were just at with police and university administrators, that they keep claiming that they have to defend the First Amendment of these hate speakers and organizers and folks who attempted to overthrow the government and who are actively trying again. And if you've been paying attention to independent media sources like ProPublica or Democracy Now!, you might have also learned that the greatest predictor of a future successful coup is a past failed coup where the leaders were not held accountable. And so these are international experts, foreign policy advisors who study coups who are saying this. Well, we should not be a place that harbors conspirators to incite a coup and organize a coup. We should not harbor literal terrorists, which is what the Proud Boys are considered in Canada and Australia. A hate group, according to very well-respected human rights groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League. The Proud Boys founder has no business being here. And our Penn State administration has no business supporting their presence and their active attempts to organize and find more followers. Again, this is not a First Amendment right. What this is the First Amendment being used against democracy. It's about the right wing's very crafty, sometimes stealthy, sometimes in your face attempt to use democratic institutions against themselves, by which I should also add public education is, and they're actually, the excuse I keep hearing from the administration is because we're a public institution, we have to give a platform to this hate group. Well, we actually have Black Americans to thank for public education. And that again, this is not to do with the First Amendment. This is, if we believe in public education, then we need to make Penn State safe for everyone. We need to make Penn State accessible to everyone. And we need to actually respect the free speech of everyone and call out when it's hate speech and violence in the making, which is what the Stand Back, Stand By event really is. Thanks.
nutshell. Right. Thanks, Dr. RC. We actually have a person up there recording us. I don't know. He's probably organizing with some of these fascist groups on campus, just so you guys are aware. Up next, we have Dr. Oliver Baker. He's an assistant professor of English and African American Studies and is a community organizer. He's going to be talking about the origins of fascism and settler colonialism and slavery. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming out. You know, there's a lot of competing events happening right now. So for you to be here is very good that you're able to, you know, get here and get through the traffic and the crowds and all that. So, you know, we're a little smaller crowd, but it's still a good group. And, you know, it's a pleasure and an honor to be invited to speak. So I just want to shout out and give thanks to the student group, the United Socialists at Penn State, that organized this. They do a great job of organizing political education on campus, as well as other events that support the struggles of workers and oppressed people on campus and beyond. So I just want to again say thanks to them. So today, yeah, a quick round of applause. That sounds good. There we go.
Nah, I like the overhead view.
Well, so today I want to talk, you know, a little bit of just, you know, as a teacher, try to offer a little bit of the things that I study.
I'm just recording it.
Like what? You know, I do study on this topic.
I've recorded all kinds of protests
and so I just wanted to kind of share some things that I've been working on and thinking about, and hopefully that you find them useful in the ways that you think about strategizing on how to fight back and how to organize against a neo-fascist threat that we are seeing rise. That's on the rise, not only here in our country, but around the world. So when people say, you know, fascism, use the word fascism,
I waved.
They're often not that
I'm not really
precise
being
what they really
that hidden
mean,
about it.
right? That word is just thrown around, right? It's very loose how people use it. But it matters how exactly, you know, it matters we understand exactly what fascism is. And have a more precise or narrow definition of it. If we want to develop strategies to defend ourselves,
I'm a student.
To defeat it.
I don't have a name.
Know what it is in order to overcome it. Okay, so this is why it's important to have a kind of an analysis of this stuff.
Going to give you a better view.
So oftentimes people think that fascism is just authoritarian.
Nah, I've recorded from up here before.
Like, of course, it has authoritarian features, but that in and of itself is not just
It's just
fascism.
my personal stuff.
People also think that fascism is usually only they usually kind of use a Europe-centered approach where they think fascism happened only one time period in the 1930s
Probably just put it
in Germany or Italy,
my own personal
and it only
channel.
happened in Europe, and that's about it, right? That's how it's most often thought of.
No, what personal channel do you have?
But I want to today kind of talk about the fact that, you know, we can't really understand what fascism or neo-fascism is if we don't look at it in the context of the long histories of settler colonialism, Western imperialism, and slavery. So real quick, right? Settler colonialism is a project, right? A violent project of stealing and seizing lands of indigenous people and intending to eliminate them, to replace them with a colonizer or settler colony or nation premised on capitalism and accumulation of wealth. Right?
It's un-American.
And of course that has grown out into imperialism, and of course the foundation is capitalism. And our form of settler colonialism in the United States was very much premised on slavery, right? Anti-black dispossession and exploitation. So we have to understand those histories to understand like fascism and neo-fascism today. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and I'll be brief, but I just want to say, you know, in other words, settler colonial violence, right, against indigenous peoples has always been fascist violence. Anti-black violence and upholding slavery.
Yeah, I got it from someone.
Fascist violence.
Are you still a student?
Imperialist violence.
I'm a student. I haven't run since freshman year.
Fascist
So.
violence. So let me explain a little bit the origins of this violence. To carry out the violence of conquering nations and enslaving people to accumulate wealth,
Friday night.
European capitalist societies like the United States had to create alliances across class inequality, religious and ethnic difference among their own people
What department are you in?
to get the support needed to maintain and expand these
Okay, so we
imperial
can
and
look
white
it up and let
supremacist
people
projects
know
of
you're doing
plundering, pillaging,
I mean,
and
I'm just-
enslaving
We
people
don't
for
have
profit.
to do that if you just come
In
down
other words,
with us.
European ruling classes imposed
We're
these
just politely
cross-class
asking you to stop
alliances
doing this, or else
with
we're
middle
gonna have to
and
tell
working
people
class
to
Europeans to unite all
I'm
Europeans
just supporting.
in
University does
support
have
of settler
those
colonialism and
on
slavery.
departments.
And really, you know, that becomes the birth
It'd be
of
very
the
easy
invention
to
of
find
whiteness and settlerism,
online.
is these
Just
alliances.
go on and have a hot dog with us.
And it's these things have anything to do with
Like I
how to understand
Not my
fascism.
thing.
So whiteness was invented to organize Europeans of all
where'd you
classes
buy that
and backgrounds
recorder?
to be the police.
Honestly, yeah.
It
For
seems weird that you're
capitalism.
not using a phone. Why is that?
Whiteness
Why are you not
has
using
always
a phone?
organized people to be the
Why do
police
you have
for
special
capitalism, to be loyal to capitalism. Well, how
Because
it explains where,
What else do you record?
unfortunately, a lot of white people
What else do you record?
feel like they have more alliance
Short
with a
films,
billionaire,
other events.
president like Trump over
know,
their fellow
random
working
shit.
class people.
Why are you insisting on?
I mean,
not
that
stopping
tends to be the more
harassment?
dominant thing we see.
know
And even
why
though people work against that, but that,
do I need to
you know,
stop?
that can be
it's
explained by
making
the
people feel
origins of
uncomfortable.
why they're inventing whiteness to,
I hope you can understand
along
the
the lines of
privilege
these
that
alliances.
you're in as
But it's
a
to police,
tall white man.
it's to police
filming
black
a bunch of
rebellion.
predominantly women and
Right?
half
Enslaved
white
Africans rebel.
I mean,
that prompts
my-
the creation
kinda
of
weird.
whiteness.
My camera's
That prompts
focused
the
on
creation of these
Baker right now.
alliances as a tool to
But that's not
repress
about,
and stop
it's about
that
the fact that
rebellion.
people see you
The
up
same
there.
thing
They
with
don't know that
indigenous
they're not
rebellion.
recording you.
People trying to get their land back.
This is like bordering on like
Settlerism
stalking.
organizes Europeans to unite,
won't you
to
stop?
not allow indigenous people to get their land
won't you
back,
stop?
as well
Look
as
at the
to
camera
continue
and
to
say, why
attack
will
and
you not
invade
stop recording
and
us?
colonize to acquire more land.
Why will you not stop?
There's an alliance that is
recording us?
created to organize
I don't have
people
to.
according to that
We're
objective.
asking you politely.
Those are the origins
Can
of
you
whiteness and
please stop
settlerism.
recording us?
It's not a private area.
So I see fascism
You're
as the
hiding in a
continuation of these
parking garage.
projects.
It's not hiding. I mean,
Yes, you are hiding
you found
in a parking
me.
garage.
Fascism is the
You're
movement
creeping your head
of whole to
over
strengthen,
the balcony.
renew,
Can you stop
to
recording
remake
us?
a
prefer this
capitalism
Dude,
angle.
can you
that is
stop
premised
recording
on
us?
Black violence, premised on anti-indigenous violence,
Put the camera
business
away.
possession, as well as
Stop recording us.
imperialism as its base.
Put it away.
You-
Put the
So
camera
that's
away.
fascism.
Or what?
Neo-fascism. What are these
Put the
neo-fascist
camera away.
movements? So neo-fascists today, you know, they believe that
Put the camera away and
you know, they
leave the
see the
parking
United
garage.
States that it has sort of drifted away from its original dream of being a white nation. They see that it's
Can I at least
sort of been
finish?
lost.
Wait till
They're
Baker's
fighting
done.
to get back.
When are you
They feel like they've
finishing?
Oh, wait
lost
till
their
Baker's
white
done.
male nation, and they want
You're
it
gonna
back.
be here all night and we're not gonna laugh.
They want, you know, they want.
Hey,
to
the guy who
renew-
sat here said he would leave after Dr. Baker is finished.
Yeah, can we get
What do we want?
Can we get a chant going to get this guy out of here?
Here, someone may come up and do a chant.
Well, is
Someone
Baker
could
done?
Yeah, we're done.
I guess we have someone who's maybe trying to film me, or I don't know,
It's kind of weird.
for various reasons, and is kind of interrupting and disrupting this event.
Fine.
Whoa, please leave.
Fine.
Put the camera